Welcome to class 10 students. This is the continuation part of the chapter nervous system, which is part of chapter 1. Okay, so in my previous video I have discussed with you a few terms, which is stimulus. The types of stimulus also I have discussed: receptor, effector, and also the pathway of flow of impulse. Okay, now we are going to move on with the next topic in this chapter, which is the difference between mode of action of hormone and nervous system. Okay, uh, so the mode of action of hormone and nervous system are very different, although both of them control and regulate the activities in our body. Their mode of action is very different. In case of hormone, the mode of action is very slow, so it is called slow control of the system. While in case of nervous system, the mode of action is immediate and instant. Means suppose we touch something, and means we touch something hot, we will be able to feel it instantly. If not so, if we don't feel instantly that we are touching something hot, then our hands will get injured. Okay, so to save us from these kind of injury and other mishaps, the mode of action of nervous system is very rapid. Okay, next coming to hormone, hormone exerts its role as a biochemical messenger which is transmitted by blood. Nervous system sends its information in the form of nerve impulse which is transmitted by the neurons. Clear? Third, hormones may have a more prolonged effect, while nervous system has immediate effect. If we get beaten by a mosquito, we will scratch that area for some time, but it will not be a long-term effect. While on the other hand, if any of the hormones are not in their exact amount in our body, suppose hyposecretion or hypersecretion of any of the hormones have taken place in our body, then it would means the effect of that will be prolonged. Okay, it will not be a immediate effect. Action of hormone spreads to vast area of the body. Its action is restricted to limited area only. Hormonal function occurs in both plants and animals. The action of nervous system is found only in animals. Plants, they do not have nervous system in their body. So this is all about the mode of action between hormones and nervous system. You will have to learn this very well. Now coming to the components of nervous system, there is this chart which you have to learn very well. Okay, I am going to explain the structure and function of different parts of the neuron by showing you a picture. Okay, so the picture that you can see here is the diagram of a neuron. Okay, so each neuron consists of three main parts: the cell body or the cyton. As you can see here, the it is marked as the cell body. So which one is the cell body? This whole part is the cell body, which contains a nucleus. Okay. Many short fibers come out or arise from the cell body, which are known as dendrons or dendrites. Means basically the larger ones are the dendrons, these main ones are the dendrons, but as you can see that from these ones many short branches also arise. Those are known as dendrites. The function of the dendrite is to receive messages from the previous neurons. Okay, and apart from the dendrite, the opposite end of the cell body, means so on one opposite end of the cell body there is a very long axon. What is the axon? This is a unbranched long fiber, single long fiber which extends from the other side of the cyton or the cell body, and the axon carries the message from the cell body of one neuron to another. So basically the dendrites receive messages from the previous neuron like this. Okay, and these messages then go via the cell body through the axon, and then through these axon terminals they go out and get into the next neuron. Okay, so messages along the neuron travel in the form of a wave of chemical disturbance, which is known as impulse. Okay, so these messages, as I told you, that they are traveling through the cell body, through the axon, and then through the axon terminals. Terminal means the end part. So through these axon terminals into the next neuron. So these are basically known as impulse. Okay, so let's see what else is there. Let's clear this up. Okay, and the axon, as you can see, that this is the whole axon, right? And then there is a covering along the axon which is discontinuous. This covering, this blue covering, and then there is a gap, again a covering gap like this. So these coverings are known as myelin sheath, and then there is these gaps which are known as node of Ranvier. These gaps help in faster travel of the faster transmission of the impulse, so that they can go to the next neuron much faster. Okay, and this covering or a sheath of the axon is known as myelin sheath. Now, a neuron receives messages from one part of the body and conducts them to other parts to initiate a response. I have already talked about stimulus and response previously. The neurons are not in direct contact or touch each other. Okay. So I have already shown you the picture in the online class, that suppose this is one neuron 1. Okay, and then there is a gap, then there is neuron 2. So these neuron 1 and neuron 2 are not in direct contact, or they do not touch each other, and this gap is known as synapse. This gap between two adjacent neurons is known as synapse. The synapse is basically a junction where communication between two neurons occur. What kind of communication? This transfer of impulse from the previous neuron to the next neuron. Okay, so this is all about the structure of neuron. I will continue with the types of neuron and the rest of the portion of this chapter in the next video. Okay, thank you.